Join the Monsterboy Roc. Boom.
Top of the morning to ya. My name is Monsterboy Roc, and welcome to the show. You might be wondering why I said hello to you all like that today. Well, because this week is St. Patrick's Day. Yep, the holiday filled with green. Many of you are probably wondering why I'm not wearing green right now. Well, because, let's just say there's enough green around here as it is. Well, for those of you who don't know what St. Patrick's Day is, I'll fill you in real quickly. St. Patrick's Day is the celebration of when St. Patrick went to Ireland and got rid of all the snakes. Yep, at one time, snakes ruled the population of Ireland more than humans, but St. Patrick came along and got rid of them. So, to remember him, they decided to celebrate a whole day about him. Now, you're all probably wondering why I'm bringing this up. Am I doing a St. Patrick's Day drawing? Well, not exactly. I'm not really doing a St. Patrick's drawing. However, I am doing a drawing based off something Irish. Today, I am going to do something completely different. Yep, this time, I am not going to be drawing my characters from my passion project, The Secret Beauty. Instead, I'm going to be doing a fan art drawing on two animated feature films from Ireland. Those two films being The Secret of Kells, the story of a young boy who helps a visiting illustrator create the Book of Kells, while the rest of his village prepares for an upcoming Viking attack. And Song of the Sea, the story of a mute little girl who finds an old fur coat that belonged to her mother that magically turns her into a seal. Those are just the basic synopsis, guys. There is so much more to these films that you will love. They are absolutely wonderful. In fact, these films are basically one of the reasons why I started doing this passion project. I love these films very much. These are basically two of the films that really got me to say, you know what? Animation is awesome. I've watched animated films before, but these were the two films that made me say, you know, I want to draw more. I really want to draw more. And I figured, in honor of that, and in honor of St. Patrick's Day, I figured I would draw both of them in the same drawing. Now, you're probably wondering why, though. Why am I going to draw two animated films that seem so vastly different in the same drawing? Well, because they were actually brought to us by the exact same studio. That studio being Cartoon Saloon, an Irish animated studio that produced, well, of course, The Secret of Kells and Song of the Sea, as well as their latest feature, The Breadwinner. Now, Cartoon Saloon might not be a big name yet, but all three of these films were nominated for the Best Animated Feature Academy Award. Yep, all of these were nominated for Oscars. They lost to arguably just as good movies, but the fact is, these three films were nominated for Oscars, thereby giving them a lot more recognition. Now for the drawing itself, I'm going to be drawing the main characters from both of these films. So, let's get started, shall we? So for this fan art, I'm going to use 13 fine point Sharpies to draw and color the drawing. And of course, I got my ink-seeking prevention paper right here that I'm going to place under the piece of paper that I am drawing on. Just like that. Now, I'll take my black Sharpie, and I will start by drawing the Secret of Kells characters. I'm going to start with Brandon, and his head looks a little something like this. Now I'll draw his ears, which look like this. Now I'll draw his face. I'll start with his eyebrows. Then I'll draw his eyes. Now I'll draw his nose and his mouth. Then I'll draw his neck. Now I'll draw his hair. Draw some lines for strands. Draw some up here as well. Now I'll draw his body. Now draw his arms. And his hands. And his feet. Now I'll draw Aisling. Now Aisling, her head looks a little something like this. She has thick black eyebrows like this. Her eyes look like this. Now we'll draw her nose and her mouth. Then we'll draw her neck. And now we'll draw her body, which looks like this. We'll draw her arms. And hands. Now we'll draw her legs. Now we'll draw her feet. And now we'll draw her hair, which is very, very long, almost reaching the ground. Now, I'll draw some lines like this. I'll draw some in the back as well. And there we have the Secret of Kells characters, Brandon and Aisling. Now, I'll draw the Song of the Sea characters. Now for Saoirse, I'm going to draw her head like this. She has a strand of hair on the side like this. Now I'll draw her eyebrows. And now, I'll draw her eyes, which look like this. Now I'll draw her nose and her mouth. And now, I'll draw her body. I'll draw her hands. Now I'll draw her legs and feet. And finally, I'll draw her hair. Finally, I'm going to draw her brother, Ben. Now, Ben's head looks like this. I'll draw his eyebrows. I'll draw his eyes. His eyes are bluish color. There we go. Now I'll draw his nose and his mouth. Now, I'm going to draw his body, which starts with a life jacket. Color this in. Color this one in as well. Now I'll draw the rest of his shirt. I'll draw his hands. Draw his undershirt. Then I'll draw his pants. Now I'll draw his sneakers. And now, to draw in his rest of the hair. Draw some strands on top as well. And there we have it. The Song of the Sea characters, Saoirse and Ben. Now I'm just gonna quickly draw a line for the ground they are standing on. And now it'll be time to color the characters. First, I'm going to color Brandon. I'm going to use peach for his skin, orange for his eyebrows, his hair, and his earrings, brown for his clothes and the straps on his feet, and finally, turquoise for his eyes. So, let's get coloring. Now for Aisling, her hair is completely white, and her skin is very pale, so I'm going to keep that white as well. But I will use peach for some blush. I will also use gray for her shirt and her feet. And I'm going to use lime green for her eyes. So, let's color Aisling. Next, I'm going to color Saoirse. For her skin, I'm going to use peach. I'm going to use berry for her shirt. I'm going to use pink for her skirt and her blush. I'm going to use yellow for her boots and black for her hair. So now let's color Saoirse. Finally, I'm going to color Ben. Now, his skin is also peach. I'm going to use pink for some blush as well. I'm going to use yellow for his hair and his shirt. His undershirt's going to stay white. I'm going to use gray for his shoes. Blue for his pants. Brown for his eyebrows. And finally, orange for his life jacket. So, let's color Ben. And there we have it. I have colored Brandon, Aisling, Saoirse, and Ben. Now, I'm going to color in the backdrop. But first, I'm going to add something in the background. I'm going to draw some 4-leaf clovers, like this. And I'm also going to color them completely in with my green Sharpie. And this entire wall is going to be filled to the brim with 4-leaf clovers to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So, let's get started. Finally, I'm going to color the rest of the wall and the floor with my lime green Sharpie. So, let's get coloring. And there we have it, folks. We have the finished fan art drawing of the main characters from 2 animated feature films from the Irish animated studio Cartoon Saloon. Aisling and Brandon from The Secret of Kells, and Ben and Saoirse from Song of the Sea. I hope you all enjoyed this video today because I had a lot of fun making it myself. Now you can see that fan art drawing of The Secret of Kells and Song of the Sea, as well as many other drawings on Instagram.com/TheSecretBeautyDrawings or Facebook.com/TheSecretBeautyDrawing. The links to both of those websites will be in the description down below. And if you want to see some more Drawing with Monsterboy Roc videos like this one that you've just finished watching in the very near future, then please click the subscribe icon and hit the little bell to be notified for all my drawing videos like this one, of when I drew my characters having a party. You can also click on this playlist to watch every episode of Drawing with Monsterboy Roc as well. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody, and I hope you all have a very nice one. Take care now.